everybody, I hope everyone's doing well. Well, today is July 24th, 2024, and I'm here to do After Therapy Talk with you guys. I know it's been a little bit since I've done one of these, but I'm hoping to start bringing them back to my channel because I really want to take you guys on my health and healing journey that I am on, and part of it is what I'm doing in therapy to finally heal and get healthy. I do want to share what I can when it comes to my therapy, for sure, bring you guys along. So I'm hoping to bring them back. That's what I'm saying. All right, so let's get right to that. I just had my therapy session. I have it here online. I usually have my camera already set up, so I just kind of turn around and then I start telling you guys what I'm going through or what was said and done in therapy for that session. Also, I'm going to go ahead and show you my outfit because this is a top that I just recently hauled for you guys. So I want to show you my outfit, and I got to kind of hurry up because I got to go out right now. All right, let's get right to this. Today's therapy session was actually a little bit more relaxing. It was a little bit more less intense than what's been happening in therapy. And that is because right now, well, let me give you a little bit of an overview because since it's been a little bit of time since I've talked about it. Okay, so just really quickly, what I'm working on in therapy and healing is what I do to myself that I perpetuated for so long in my life. Okay, it's my way of being, it's my way of existing in my life, and that is I have what is called cognitive distortion. Now, the reason why I say it like that is because yes, we all have it. We all do it to ourselves, rather. It's not something we have, it's something that we do to ourselves. We all have irrational thoughts, irrational fears. We think about something or we perceive something irrationally. But we all have, all of us, including myself, intellect, right? We have the intelligence. So we have the emotions and feelings, perceptions, and then the intelligence that override this, okay? And 9 times out of 10, that's what happens. Sometimes like irrational fears of things, right? It's irrational, but we have these fears and our intellect can't seem to like override that, right? And so we have these irrational fears. So we all have them. It's not like I am unique to the world. It's not. It's however, I run a lot of things about me in that way, irrationally, when it comes to me. When it comes to me, and especially bad things or things that happen to me or things that are said about me, I will process that and then pretty much lay it on myself. I have an irrational thought about it. Could be anything. I'll give you an example, and I don't know if I've used this before, but I've had 5 miscarriages in my life, okay? And with each and every one of those miscarriages, I put it on myself. I blamed myself so badly that I really talked negatively about myself. You know, I'm not worth it. Because I'm a horrible person. I've done such a number on myself. And the reality is that there was a reason. There was a biological or scientific reason into why these things were happening to me. But it took years after to understand that. But that's basically in a nutshell what I do. And this could be in most everything in my life. Okay, this is what I do. And this was perpetuated because of my childhood. When you're a young child with severe trauma, and not just trauma, but also the way the people around you that were supposed to take care of you or whatever, tell you about yourself in such a negative way. You start to formulate ideas, you start to formulate, okay, this is happening to me because I'm a bad girl. Oh, this is happening to me because I did this that was bad. You know what I mean? You start to rationalize the irrational. And so for me, because the trauma was so extensive for so long, I sort of took that and I just sort of adapted that. And I ended up doing it to myself. In essence, what my therapist says is the one who runs my life when it comes to things like this is still that young Laura. It's still that young Laura that is still sort of running the show. And what we want to do now is start sort of healing that Laura in essence and start understanding that as an adult, I can use my intellect. Now, it sounds easy and it sounds very logical. And so I told her, why can't I just do that? One time I told her, why can't I just do that? If I understand that and it's not making sense, why can't I do that? She says, because you are basically still running your life as the small child is really the one that overrides anything that comes negative in. Any perception that you perceive negative, that's what will happen. And so we want to heal it. So it's not about getting over it, it's about healing it. And this is where I'm at in my therapy, and that's what happened today. Today's therapy was kind of a little bit more light because I was able to bring to her some cognitive distorted thoughts that I had during the week. And I myself made so many connections to my childhood and where they stemmed from, which was absolutely amazing. It was amazing that I was able to do that. And I've been doing that a lot more because what she has me doing is when I recognize a thought that's irrational or a thought that is distorted, write it down. She says, I want you to write it down. I want you to write what triggered it. Understanding it is helping you link the where it came from. Why did you think that way? What was it that made you think that? It's very intense, and it's a lot because it was my whole childhood life from toddler to adolescence. It was that much trauma in there and that much dysfunction. And so there was a lot for me to grab and sort of carry on in life in that way. I ended up doing it to myself, It was done to me as a child, and I just now do it to myself as an adult. But in essence, that's kind of how she explained it, that the child in me is still sort of running those irrational thoughts. And I understand it now because as we started to link these thinking, especially today, was big because it was like a big thing that I do to myself. I was able to really link that thinking process and understand from where it came from. And that in itself is so healing, to understand that, okay, you're not like this because you want to be this way. You're like this because this is how you were, you taught to think about yourself, especially with the trauma situations. When traumas are happening to you, and I think you can kind of guess what I'm talking about. YouTube, you have to be careful here, but when the actual traumas are happening to you, you have to rationalize it, or most children do. They rationalize the irrational, and 9 times out of 10 they're going to put it on themselves. So anyways, that's it, guys. That's really in a nutshell what I'm working on right now. Next week we finally will be working on the 2 techniques, not both of them at the same time, but 2 techniques that will start the healing process. So next week is really diving into memory. She goes, and you're going to be very surprised, Laura, that there's going to be memories that have been sort of buried all this time. You're going to be very, very shocked because there's a lot of trauma there in your life, a lot. And so you're going to see these traumas come up. And I go, I believe it. I believe it. Being in therapy before at 22 years of age, like I've said, for 4 years, I worked on the actual traumas, that physical traumas. I understood that, what I had, PTSD, survivor's guilt, and, but what I continue to do to myself is bring that sort of thinking behavior up into my 55 years of age. So I won't be surprised. You know what I mean? So yeah, I don't know which technique we're going to do. She said a lot of times what she does is she sort of lets the session dictate what technique we're going to be working with in that given session. And yeah, I'm really excited. Right now, I can tell you a lot in my life is really changing. I already feel changes, you guys. I already do. I'm more self-aware of what I do to myself, and just by that nature, you're able to change. You can do something about it. But what I'm trying to create is some healing. She says if you don't heal it, then what happens is you tend to default a lot still back to that way of thinking, the cognitive distortions. And so what you want to do is you want to heal it, understand it, grow, and start changing a pattern into a new normal, okay, a new way of thinking and perceiving things. using more intellect, intelligence. Sorry, you guys. And when you do default back, because you will always do default to what is your normal, because it's your normal. You can't erase it out of your brain. You can't erase the memories, you know. You stay there less and you go there less. And so that's why there's work to be done when it comes to healing. And again, in my case, like she said, it's one of the most intense. It's one of the most entangled because it's coming from many, many angles. I've done this for 55 years to myself, in essence. The way I perceive things about me. It's like little information, right? And I just sort of put everything on me, 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 me. That's what I do, you know. And it's not the good things. It's the negative things. It's the even within life's trauma, normal life traumas that we all experience, right? Like she said, we have big traumas and small t traumas. Even in those things, they're irrational thinking in my part when it comes to me. I can look at traumas, other people's traumas, like I said, normal life traumas that people go through, and I can think of it very, very rational for them. I can really look at it rational. But just for me, when it comes to me, I will put such a heavy burden on myself on any given thing, whether it's my online store, whether it's my marriage, but that's comes with this. That's a whole different thing that we'll get into another time. But yeah, even within the separation in my marriage, and so many goals and things that I wanted to do for myself. The reason why I haven't accomplished any real goals that I've set for myself, including weight loss, you know, including what I do here on YouTube. It has a lot to do with the distorted thoughts and how I feel about myself. So there needs to be some healing, you know, at least for me, you know, I'll keep it on me. There needs to be some healing. And so that's what we're going to do next week. So we talked a lot about the techniques. We talked a lot about the differences in the techniques today. And so I'm really am excited. All right, my friends, that's what we did today. Let me go ahead and show you the top I just recently hauled for you guys. It's from West Key, K-E-I. I think that's how you pronounce it. I like it. It's a crepe material, but it's not a very thick crepe material. I also like the floral pattern because the flowers aren't big and many. I had a top that was like that. I didn't like it. This I like because they're sporadic. I like the sleeves, that they're mid sleeves. They're not quite 3/4, but they're mid. Go to the elbow, and they have a little bit of a flare out, and my arms fit perfectly. Again, this is a large, but what I like about it is that it has a tie back, or this tie, because I can tighten it as tight as I want. And it gives me, I feel, it helps with giving me like a figure. You know what I mean? Like I like it because it gives me a figure. So I like that. Now, the only thing I don't like is that it has a tie back. You're like, what? Because I do have a tush, and so this can accentuate the tush. Maybe not too bad. But yeah, it can. If the bow is bigger or something, it can accentuate. But it's okay. It does good. Now, the pants are a waistband. And I don't know if I've shared these with you before, but these are from Susan Graver. These are a large petite. This is perfect. Whenever it comes to these types of pants, petite is much better for me. I'm 5'4". With the regular length, I will step on them. I will completely step on them. So petite is perfect when it comes to these sort of elastic, stretchy type pants. And I like the color. I don't have anything like this. I love the color, and it's very comfortable, and I think it looks good with this. So yeah, Susan Graver, large petite, West Key, I think that's how you pronounce it, large. Yeah, and I like it because it gives me the figure. Okay, you guys, that is it. I'm gonna go ahead and get on out of here. I'm sorry if I kind of rushed through the video, but I really do need to go. I am headed out to, well, I got my grandbaby her birthday present. Her birthday's tomorrow. She's gonna be 4 years old. But I need to get a couple more things because I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to get her this week, and I am. I'm going to have her all day Friday. I'm going to go pick her up really early. I'm going to go pick her up to spend all day with her, and my kids will be here, but my daughter will have to go to work. So that's why I'm going to bring her here so that we can open presents while we're all here. And then I want to make some plans to take her out a little bit on Friday. and then play with her new toys, her new Barbies. And then I want to go get a cake, like a small cake, I think like an ice cream cake or something. I want to get some balloons for her. And yeah, so I want to go, oh, and I need wrapping paper. So I want to go get a couple more things, just loose ends that I need to get. Oh, I know what I want to get. I also want to get her some bubbles because I give her a bath before I send her home, and she likes to play in there. So I want to get her some bubbles, and then a pair of PJs. I want to buy some PJs, yeah, so that her mom doesn't have to pack her PJs. Because by the time we get home, she's out. She's out. So she's bathed and in her PJs, and she's out. So, okay, my friends, I'm going to go ahead and go. I need to get out in that heat. I'm not looking forward to it. And I'm not even going to change because I want to go out there, get what I need, and come home so that I can eat and then belly dance. I'm not sure if I'll have a meeting of the tripod today since we already met here for after therapy talk. So I'm not sure. We'll see. All right, my friends, take care, and I will see you guys soon. All right.